What do you see when you close your eyes? It's so interesting because practically every human being blinks their eyes between 14,000 and 19,000 times a day. And every time your eyes close, they lubricate your cornea so that you have clarity of vision. Every time your eyes close, your vision ought to become a little more clearly. You ought to begin to see what you couldn't see before. So I'm going to talk to you for a few moments about field of dreams. Dreams are what you see oftentimes while your eyes are closed. But sometimes the things that harm us the most are the things not that we see, but the things that we fail to see. In every business leader, no matter how good or thorough that he or she is, can see everything that they need to see by themselves. Every leader, without exception, has blind spots. And that's why you have to have someone who can see your blind spots. Because focus creates blindness. So whenever you're focused on your goals, you become blind sometimes to things in your home. Focus on the goal, focus on the vision, focus on the dream causes blind spots. And some of the things that hurt us the most while we were focusing on this, we didn't see the termites that were causing damage. It's what you don't see sometimes that can hurt you more than what you actually see. So when you think about what reminds me of this is something that happened back in 1912, in April of 1912, when the Titanic set sail. It's an incredible luxury ship. And there were tons of people who were seeing this ship for the very first time. And they didn't know what to do with it. And there they were on the Titanic on that day, April of 1912. This incredible ship that set sail as a luxury experience. And they thought initially that this thing was too big to ever sink. And they had another thought coming. Because what happened was Second Officer David Blair, at the last minute, he was removed from the ship. And as he exited the ship, he had a key in his pocket that he failed to give to his replacement, a man by the name of Charles Lightoller. And little did they know that this key was designed to open the locker in the crow's nest that contained the only pair of binoculars that the ship had. These were the binoculars of that day that were in the ship, in the locker, in the crow's nest. And he had walked off. This is the pre-sonar days of a luxury cruise liner. So they didn't have sonar technology, so they had to rely on binoculars to be able to see dangers that were lurking in the water. These that they could see, they didn't have because David Blair failed to give his replacement the key that contained the ability to open the locker and retrieve the binoculars, which allowed them to see far enough ahead to be able to avoid the disaster. The bigger the ship, the farther that you have to be able to see. You have to plan in years, but think in decades. You plan in years. You think in decades. These are your binoculars. Here's the question: who's holding the binoculars in your organization? Who is it? You have to think about in your life, who is it that has the key to the binoculars to be able to show you exactly where they are? That's the question that you need to have. What is potentially lurking ahead of you that you cannot see? Binoculars are the things that allow you to be able to see beyond. And there is generally a person that's holding the binoculars, the perspective of something that you cannot see. How do you deal with the things that are coming, the changes in the economy, the changes in technology? We are living in a day where we are dealing with incredible sociological change, technological change, economic change, environmental change, political change. How do you have something that allows you to see down the vista of time the potential dangers that are lurking? Who's looking to see how artificial intelligence will impact your organization? Whatever it is that you're dealing with. Are you afraid that artificial intelligence is going to replace people? Here's what really AI helps us to do the most. AI helps us to save time and money. And the people that will be replaced are the people who don't know how to work with AI. AI is a tool, not a replacement, but it will replace people who don't know how to use the tool. And so, because it frees up time and money, then it gives every business person an opportunity to have more time to be able to reinvest and engage people. Because AI is not a person, and it is not designed to lead people nor to develop people. People need people. People develop people. Use the free time, use the free money to retrain, to reinvest, and to regrow people. People are our real business. They're the people who serve with us, and they are the people that we serve. And so we have to keep moving down through time to be able to find those things that actually help us to be able to grow the most. And so whenever you're in the process of a field of dreams, you need to be able to zoom out so that you can always see the big picture in life. Zoom out to see the big picture, then you zoom in to see what do I need to do right now about the big picture. Zoom out and see, what does 10 years down the road look like for my organization? Now zoom in and say, what can I do today? What can I do this week? What can I do this month that will make what I saw in my zoomed out big picture glance? What can I do right now? Zoom out and then focus in. Zoom out and then zoom in. And that's just to show you the decades look. But then as you zoom in, it shows right now. There was an iceberg lurking in the waters, but they couldn't see it soon enough. And the Titanic was so large that they couldn't turn fast enough. That's why it sank, losing the lives of 1,522 people, as well as the loss of the ship itself. And that's what happens, is that you end up losing people when you don't have foresight to be able to make changes. You either change or you die. Everybody has a choice. You change or you die. If your organization is not changing, it is in the process of dying. Nothing is more useless than the answer to a question that no one is asking. It will make you irrelevant to the culture if we don't change. We must change to be able to meet the demands, not of where we think we are, but the demands of actually where we are. That's how life works. And I want you to realize this: leaders don't make excuses, they actually make solutions. They find solutions. Leaders don't make excuses, they find solutions. You know what a leader is? Actually, the word leader is an Indo-European word. It is made up of two separate words, Lea, which means path, and Der, which means finder. A leader is a path finder. So when you start a new business, there's not a manual to tell you every kind of problem that you can or may encounter along the way. You have to discover the path. Leaders go out and find a path and blaze a trail so that others can follow. He who thinks that he leads, she who thinks that she leads and nobody follows, only takes a walk. And so leaders find a path where there is no path, and then they lead others there. And so that's the wonderful power. There are four dimensions of leadership. The first one is leading self. Because if you can't lead yourself, you're not qualified to lead anybody else. Real leadership at its core is about leading yourself in such a way that you inspire others to follow. You lead by example, or else you become disqualified. And people will resent your leadership if you don't embody, model for them what they are to be and to do. So you lead yourself. The second level of leadership is leading others. You have to be able to lead others into the place where you are. Once you can lead yourself, now you can lead others. Here's the third level of leadership, is leading teams. It's another thing to be able to lead teams that you've developed up under you. So some people can only lead themselves. There are others that can lead others. There are others that lead teams, groups of people. And then here's the fourth level of leadership, is leading change or leading an organization. And if you're going to be a change agent, these are the four dimensions. If you want to lead change, if you want to lead an organization, you mature into that by leading yourself, leading others, leading teams, and now you're empowered to be able to lead positive change in the world, to lead whole organization. Organizations are teams of teams. And if you just gather people on your team, in your company, in your organization, it's just a group. But trust turns a group into a team. Trust turns a group into a team. So we grow through the vicissitudes of life, from leading self to leading others, to leading teams, to leading change or leading organizations. And that's how you grow as a leader. Leaders continue to grow throughout their life. They are constantly learning. They're constantly growing. It is interesting when you think about money. In America, we are what you call a capitalistic society. A capitalistic. Capital comes from the Latin word capitalis. Guess what capitalis means? It means of the head. So in order to get capital, it is telling you, if you go back to the historical etymological roots of the word, it's telling you it's money that's actually locked in your head. Capitalis, capital, of the head. It's an idea that comes into your head. And listen, if you don't act on the idea that comes into your head, good ideas never die. They only pop into somebody else's head who will do something with it. And if you sit back too long, you will watch someone else living out the idea that was in your head. Capital comes from ideas. Ideas produce the money. It's not the money that produces the idea, it's the idea that produces the money. And always remember this, ideas have consequences. I love the man that a little over 50 years ago that developed Singapore into the place that it is today. An incredible visionary. That man saw something that was not, and out of an idea created a reality that we're all able to enjoy now. You are known around the world. But 75 years ago, there was nothing here worth coming to see. But now look at the incredible oasis that this place has become because of an idea in a tenacious leader. Leaders change the world. You have the ability to be able to lead change and lead organizations. And it's not the money that starts the idea, it's the idea that starts the money. Because it's the capitalis. The capitalis, it's of the head. Money is about understanding how ideas are then monetized and turned into something that actually bless the world. You do what you love and the money will come. You serve people and the money will come. You live unselfishly and the money will come. And God will drop these capitalists, these ideas that can actually revolutionize the world. You'll be surprised what happens when you open yourself to just receive an idea that's bigger than you. And something that actually begins to transcend other people. And guess what happens? That when other people come around, there's the whole idea of this, that chaos creates opportunity. Chaos. It creates opportunities. When things go into chaos, in every chaotic situation, there's always an opportunity. I mean, when COVID hit the world, it created chaos. You know, our biggest chaos in America, we ran out of toilet paper. I had to order some from China. It took 2 weeks to get there. But chaos creates opportunities. There were people that became rich, grocery stores, supermarkets that became rich during chaos. Chaos creates opportunities. It creates opportunities. And you know why that is? It is interesting. It's because when everything in the world is shaking, hearts begin searching. They're searching for answers. They are looking for solutions. When the whole world is shaky and unstable, hearts begin searching. Sometimes your world is rocked as you know it because it's an opportunity. It's not for destruction. It's an opportunity. Chaos creates opportunities. You know why? Because all order comes out of chaos. And it is the capitalis, something that is up the head, the idea that makes order out of chaos. And if the mind is not ordered, the life is not ordered. And if the life is not ordered, the home is not ordered. And if the home is not ordered, the business is not ordered. The school is not ordered. The government is not ordered. It all begins with an idea in the mind, and sometimes the chaos that awakens you to something that needs to be done. Let me tell you about, since we're talking about the field of dreams, the process of a dream. Because there's a process to dreaming. And the first one is not to just lay down and go to sleep, close your eyes, and then have the dream. The first one is to discover what's already in the world, to go on a journey of discovery. It is to say what currently exists. How do you even know what to work on? Years ago, I had a scientist, an innovator that came to my office. And he said to me, I've got this great idea, and I think that it's going to change the world. And he sat down in my office, and he really wanted me to sign a non-disclosure agreement so that I wouldn't steal his idea. As he sat in my office and told me what his idea was, I Googled it. And to his amazement, I had to say, "Sir, are you aware that your idea already exists and is for sale?" It's already on the market. Because he had dreamed up something that he had never discovered already existed. So you go on a journey of discovery so that you don't create something that's already existing. And you can take an old idea and give a new twist to it and make it creative and innovative. Most creativity is not from scratch, it's from experience. You create. If you start something and fail, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You know what doesn't work and you build from that. It's discovery at first. Children, when they come in the world, everything that comes into their hand, they want to handle, they want to put it in their mouth, they want to look at it, they want to examine it because they're discovering their world. So it's about a journey of discovery. Life is about discovering the opportunities that exist. What can I do? The choices in education, the choice in finding a mate. It's about discovery. Please don't just marry the first person you meet. Discover what's out there. Discover. Don't accept the first job offer. Don't accept the first deal. Discover to see, is this good or not? You have to have something with which to compare it. Then you can make a decision. So you start with discovery. Then the second part is to dream. Dream. After you've discovered, then you dream. Now you start saying, what can I do? What new, since this exists, how can I dream up something that becomes better than this? Once you actually dream in living color, vividly, with as much detail as possible. Psychologists have discovered that the greater detail that your dream has, the greater potential it has to become a reality. So dream in living color, dream vividly, dream fully. Here's the third thing. After you discover and after you dream, then you design it. You have to design it. If you're going to build a building, I've built buildings, I had to start with architectural designs. You can't just build from your head to reality. You have to design it. You have to design the life that you want. You have to design the business that you want. You have to have a business plan. Design it first. Put it on paper. If you think it, ink it. A short pencil is worth more than a long memory. Write it down. Put it in writing. Put it in writing. Discover, see what's available. Then dream in living color, a big dream, and then design it. And the next step is to do it. Do it. Build it out. Put it into reality. You're taking the reality on the inside and creating that reality on the outside because you've got the architectural plans for it. You've got the design. You've got the business plan. Follow the plan. Don't go into business without a plan. If you're going to get financing from a financial institution, they want to see your plan. When I first launched out to do something, they didn't just ask for the first year plan. They wanted my first 5-year plans and the estimate of my income for the first 5 years. They wanted to see my bank receipts. And they got into all of my personal financial information to see whether they would lend me this money because I was asking for millions. And I had to discover what I could do, then I dreamed it, then I designed it, then I did it. And the next step is to document it. Because you can't teach it to others if you don't take time to document what you will have done. You need to document it because the farther that you get away from it, the more fuzzy the details are. And that's where the real irritation of things is in the details. It's in the details, but success is in the systems. the systems that you're able to create and to build. So go through the process and discover some things, and then start dreaming, and then start designing, and then start doing, and then document it. Because if you don't document it, you cannot teach it and pass it on effectively to others. And you're going to wish that you had documented it, because the farther that you get away from it, the more fuzzy those details become. And particularly when you're dreaming. A dream is not something that you see in your sleep. A dream is something that keeps sleep from you. A dream will wake you up in the middle of the night, and it'll say, hey, let's have a conference call. Let's meet about this. Let's start ideating. And it'll wake you up. So you don't merely have a dream. If you really got a dream, really the dream has you. And it will talk to you. And it will kick you in the side at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 3:38 in the morning, and say, hey, get up, think about me. It's like a jealous lover. And it'll always be there. So think about that. Think about that. And then you'll discover some incredible things. But look at what you have to begin with. There was a young man up in Canada, in Ottawa, Canada. He was 26 years old. And he was strapped for money. He so desperately needed money. And the thing that he did, he went out one day in Ottawa, Canada, and robbed a bank. He took the only possession that he had in his home that he realized that he could do something with, and he went out with that gun and robbed a bank. And when he's out there with the gun and he's robbing the bank, he only got a little over $6,000. And before he could get 2 blocks away, the police apprehended him. When they arrested him, they confiscated everything on his person, including this gun that you see. He went to jail over taking a gun and robbing a bank, and made away with $6,000. Little did he know that the gun that he robbed the bank with, the police, when they confiscated it and looked at it and had it analyzed, it was an antique. One of only 100 that was made in the year 1918 by the Ross Rifle Company in Quebec City, Canada, in 1918. It was this gun. And little did he know, when they appraised the gun, it appraised for nearly $120,000. He goes into a bank with a $120,000 gun and walks out with $6,000 and a jail sentence of 6 years in prison, because he didn't realize the worth of what was in his hands. And this is the danger if you don't know the worth of what is in your hands. What's in your hand is the seed to be able to influence and change your future. What's in your hand? When I say what's in your hand, I mean what is within reach. Who is within reach? What's in your hand? People throw their lives away on nothing because they don't realize the worth and value of what's in their hand. Something valuable is in your hands. So use that, because otherwise you'll go for something much less, not realizing that everything that you need is within reach. You are one person away from almost everything that you need to know. You'll be surprised who you could know. It's somebody that's within reach of you. Every person is a resource. Everybody that you meet is a resource of some kind, and they are within reach. They're in your hand. And there are people who don't realize the worth and value of something that they have in their hand, and they end up throwing their life away over nothing. There was an old man a number of years ago who was accosted by a young man. And the young man came up to the old man because he was a smart young man. But the old man that he came up to was not smart, but he was wise. And he said to the old man, he said, "Old man, I have a bird behind my back, and I want you to tell me whether the bird is alive or whether the bird is dead. And the old man paused and analyzed the situation very carefully. Because the young are strong, but the old know the way. And he said, young man, if I tell you that the bird is alive, you'll crush it in your hand and kill it. And if I tell you that the bird is dead, you'll open your hand and let it fly away. And he looked at the young man and said, young man, the decision is in your hand. And I tell you today that whatever it is that you want to do, the decision is in your hand. It's in your hand. All change begins with a decision. The decision to improve your life, your business, your network, it's in your hand. Use it well. I hope you got something out of it.